Up
next session, we
and
have a
I'm up.
Microsoft 365 modern workplace professional with 15 years of IT experience specializing in Microsoft 365 and Power Platform consulting. He has helped organizations across Asia and EMEA modernize their business with digital transformation solutions. So, in this session, he will show us how to manage events efficiently using Power Apps, Power Automate, and Copilot Studio, covering everything from registration, ticketing, to on site admission and post event feedback. So let us call on Michael Andrew Ferrer.
And let's give him a round of applause. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Dries.
You're
Hi, everyone.
welcome.
Hi, hi, everyone there in Manila. I'm currently in Singapore, so yeah, I'm missing Manila. I've been there just a few months ago. But yeah, just want to check if you can see my slides.
Yes, yes.
Okay, great. So I'm going to talk about managing events using Power Apps, Power Automate, and Copilot Studio. I'm going to share. Um, I'll skip this one. Um, the things that I'm going to talk about would be we'll see how the traditional event management process is in the past, and sometimes it's still being applied today. Also, how Microsoft 365 and Power Platform can modernize these events. And then later on, I'll show a bit of demo if we still have time. But just to pick your curiosity, have you ever seen or have you ever uh, experienced, attended an event wherein you need to fill out a form when you arrive to the event venue? These are some of the typical event scenarios that we encounter, and we know that events are everywhere, right? It happens almost, let's say, monthly, sometimes quarterly, annually, and it doesn't go away. So we're always going to deal with events, and making it more efficient, modernized, would benefit not just the event organizers but the attendees as well. So I'm going to take some time to discuss the traditional event management process. So I broke it down to this processes when managing events. Um, I'm in no way an expert in events management, by the way, but this is what I've observed um, through experience. Um, so at first you have pre-event marketing, right? So you need to uh, you need to send out invites or broadcast uh, that an event will happen in this office or in this about this topic, and who are going to be the speakers as well, and all the information like venue, time, and date, and so on. So the traditional way was like it's being broadcasted through posters or leaflets. We're seeing more and more, especially after the pandemic. We're seeing more and more digitalization of these as well, using social media and so on. And then after the event marketing, so once the potential attendees know already that an event is happening, then you're going to want them to register. So you'd want them to know, or you would want to know that who will be the attendees of your event and how many of they would will there be, so you will be able to prepare as well. And in the past, attendees will fill out a form, usually paper forms, but again, after or during COVID or after COVID as well, online forms now are widely used, but there's still some problems with that. And then after the registration, in the event proper on the day itself, Usually, event organizers write down or print the list of attendees or registrants, and then the registrant will find their name, just like the picture I showed earlier. Have to find their name, then they will need to sign before they get admitted to the event. And then lastly, post event, uh, you would want to know how the event went and also gather feedback so that you'll be able to improve it next time. So this traditional process, we can encounter this problem. So it's slow and inefficient, and you have disparate systems and processes that can cause inefficiencies in the whole event process because you're using either paper or a mix of paper and online forms. And then the online forms you extract, and you have now different copies of it. Um, and it's also prone to errors. That's one thing that you can encounter when doing manual processes, and it could lead to inaccurate data. And it would be difficult to get insights as well. Imagine if you have, let's say, registrants register through paper. That would be difficult to manage, and you collect them. You have to, let's say, type it out in an Excel file, and it would be very tedious and difficult to get insights out of that data. And on the event itself, it would be difficult to manage the crowd as well, because in on-site admissions, if the process is slow, like when you're using the paper method, then attendees can grow impatient, and it could be challenging to manage a crowd, especially when there are a lot of attendees going in at the same time. So that's a problem that we see. Now we can go to the solution and see how Microsoft 365 and Power Platform can help us resolve this kind of issues. So in the pre-event marketing, these are the things that we can do and technologies we can use. Invites and event info could be broadcasted through SharePoint news posts, especially if they're on uh, in our organization events. And invitees can ask a Copilot Studio agent about, say, the venue, the dietary restrictions, the accessibility, dress code, agenda, who are the speakers, what are the topics, and so on. And I'll show you a demo of that later on. Then after that, in the event registration, we'll be able to use Microsoft Forms as as a registration form, and then we'll use Power Automate to uh, confirm their registration and give them like a ticket. QR code will serve as their ticket to the venue, and the registration details can be stored in SharePoint list for easy retrieval, or it can go straight to Power BI, can connect directly to Power BI, so you can get reporting and insights about them. And then on the on-site uh, attendee admission, once you're already in the once the event comes, so event organizers will be able to use a Power App, which I'll show you later on also, to scan that QR code that the registrants receive in their email, and in just seconds they will be able to. I mean, the organizers will be able to know if it's a valid QR code, and if it has been used already. Once they see that it's valid, they check in the attendee, and they can go already in just a few seconds. So in contrast to the paper method where you need to scroll through pages of paper to find your name, and this will be a better approach. Then post event, you can also gather feedback through Microsoft Forms, and those feedback can be collated in a SharePoint list, and eventually use Power BI to create dashboards and reports and get insights out of them. So you'll know what has improved, let's say, from the past event, what needs to be improved as well for the next event. All right, so just a summary of what we discussed in terms of what technologies can be used. For example, for pre-event marketing, we can use SharePoint News Post and Copilot Studio. For the event registration, use Microsoft Forms, Power Automate, and SharePoint List. For the on-site attendee admission, use Power Apps, and for the event feedback, we can use Microsoft Forms and Power BI. So before I go to the demo, I just want to share how I came up with this uh, solution. Actually, it uh, was after COVID when we were volunteers in the church and we are assigned a task to manage the event for Christmas party. So it was the first event after the pandemic. So we um, you don't know yet, how it could be held, and we need to minimize interactions as well as much as possible. So we came up with this idea to make it digitized, and especially for the event day itself, uh, so that once the event comes, uh, the registration table will not be full of people when the the attendees come already, because the problem was, um, there's a church service prior to the Christmas party, and then right after the service, just a few minutes of um, just a few minutes, it will be the start of the Christmas party already. So imagine around 400 people coming into one venue all at the same time, right? So it was a challenge for us to minimize the interactions, or just make the registration table not crowded. And so we came up with this idea because in the past we were using paper forms, and it was tedious and was slow as well. And yeah, lines are or lines are already building up at the back. Um, and, and so we came up with this idea to digitize the whole process. So, uh, as I mentioned earlier about the pre-event, SharePoint News Post can be used as the way to propagate the information about the event. So I put in here the information about a fictional event. So I have here, let's say, a leadership conference that will happen in this location, Sans Expo and Convention Center. I put in some event highlights as well, and a registration link. So some event details as well that are useful for the users to plan ahead, um, and but a program agenda, what will be the topics that will be discussed, what will be the speakers as well, and some information about like dietary restrictions. Say food will be served for this event, and there is some accessibility and inclusion information. For example, is the venue wheelchair accessible? Would there be sign language interpretation for those uh, who have challenges in that, and some transportation as well? Will there be parking available? So all of these information are gathered in here, but it could be challenging to know everything just in just by looking at it. So um, in the pre-event stage, we can have this SharePoint site, and at the same time, we can have a Copilot Studio agent that we've created for this to ask about the event. Let's say, so I embedded it here. For example, how do I register for the event? So what I did here is I created a Copilot Studio agent that connects directly to the SharePoint site and gets this information, get the information from this site, uh, and responds to our queries based on that. So, for example, here, as you can see, to register for the Contoso Leadership Conference, you can use the registration link. So this is the link of the form, which is also right here. And by the way, this chatbot can be deployed in other places also, for example, in Microsoft Teams or in a custom website that you have. You can also have it deployed and used there. We can also, for example, ask, are there vegetarian options? Uh, will there be parking available? And what are the topics that will be discussed? So I just ask them all at the same time. It will get this information from this site because I've set up the Copilot Studio to learn from the information on this site, and it will bring up these response. So it says yes, there are vegetarian options. The chefs have prepared dishes, etc. And then he answered also my second question, right? Parking will be available, and the topics that will be discussed. And it also provides the references, well, which is this site and this page. All right. So that's how it can be useful. Of course, there are more scenarios where Copilot Studio would be more useful and could be more powerful than this. So moving forward, so this is the pre-event, and then the onset registration. Um, I click on the registration link, right? And I'll put in these information for me. Let's say John. So I'm the registrant now, and I'll put in my email address here. I'd like to register for the event. And now, once it's submitted, what it will do, I created a uh, Power Automate workflow where it will automatically create a QR code. So here's my email. I'm still waiting for the code. So what it will do, once I fill out that form, it will save the information in a SharePoint list, like this one. Okay, let me refresh it. And it will create a registration ID automatically. All right, this is the one I put in just now. And I should receive, here we go. So this is the email that I received from that. And then I have the QR code to confirm my registration. So now I'm the attendee. I'll just need to show that QR code to the uh, to the event organizer on site, before I can go into the event venue. So now let's move on to Power Apps. Actually join from my phone so I can show you that. But for now, I would like to have some participation from you guys. So you can scan this QR code and fill out the registration form. Of course, we just fill out whatever information. You don't need to fill out your real name or phone number. And then see if you can receive the QR code as well in your email. All right. Let me share my phone screen for now. So I'm going to scan the QR code I received just now. So it detected the QR code that I received from email, and it provides me the information. So I'm the event um, staff now. I will check in this attendee. So click check in. See check in confirmed. So now you can let that person go inside the venue. And now if the QR code has been used already when scan the QR code, then it will show that it has already been checked in. So you cannot use the same QR code twice. Also, as a backup, you can just type in the registration code if in case it doesn't work. I mean, the in case the QR code scanning doesn't work. So yeah, at least you have a backup. That's all I have for today. Thank you very much.
All right, ayan. A heartfelt thank you to Michael Andrew Ferrer for that insightful session on managing events with Power Apps, Power Automate, and Copilot Studio. Your real-life example showed us how we can streamline event management with Microsoft solutions. As a token of our appreciation, we would like to present you with the Certificate of Appreciation for sharing your time and expertise with us today. Again, thank you so much. Let's give him a round of applause.
Thank you so much.